Backlash for someone doing something simple and backlash for someone being simple. We gonna get into it. Let's get it. Welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I am your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation in important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation or follow us wherever you get your audio podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our video podcast, YouTube exclusive content, and our YouTube membership. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family, hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode, it's the Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Jay Andrea. We're going to be dilly-dadding a little bit. Then we're going to be talking about some race issues, because, there's that. And then we're going to be talking about classic Black family sayings. But that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
I can't call it. I'm going to do a little detour at the start.
Okay. Isn't that what we all is that the point of dilly-dally?
No, yes, dilly-dallying is just a constant detour, but this is a detour to you and your personal life.
Okay.
Man, I swear you can't win for losing when it comes to your damn house. You cannot win for losing.
No.
We almost might need to start a GoFund you. Not GoFund me, GoFund you for you and everything going on with your house. First of all, before you came out, because you out here, even though we're still not doing it in person, whatever. You came out here before you left. You was like, my ceiling in my basement fell, and I was like, wait a minute, what? There's a hole in your floor? No, that's not what happened. But can you explain to the people what's going on?
Yeah, I went to go do some laundry, so I went into the basement, looked, and the ceiling was on the floor. I don't know how else to say that. It's funny because I say that and you're like, there's a hole in your floor? No. If there was a hole in my floor, like, I would have said my house collapsed. That's what I would have said.
But that wouldn't have been true. Once again, that would have been an exaggeration as well, because your house would not have collapsed.
A room would have at least collapsed into the basement. Yes. If that part of the ceiling, what happened is the drywall fell. But if that part of the ceiling, if there was a hole, the room would have fallen into my guest room would have fallen
entire
into.
Room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
I don't believe that's how that
I don't
works,
know. I'm prone to hyperbole.
Yeah.
But yeah, now the thing is, because it's a week straight of storms in Atlanta, and apparently there's a windstorm catastrophe that they declared. But now my roof is leaking right into the kitchen. Just raining into my kitchen. So that's nice that I'm not there for that. So yeah, I got a lot of fun things waiting for me when I get home.
Yo, I swear, I remember dating this woman, and she was like, why don't you have a home? And I was like, it's not like I can't afford one, but I legitimately don't want the stress. I know so many people that have homes. One of my friends said they had to get their windows replaced in their house. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that don't seem like that's a big deal. You probably just go get a couple windows and he was like, no, it's like with $3,000. I said, for some windows?
Yeah, and that was probably only maybe one or two windows. Because if you get all your windows replaced, it could be tens of thousands.
Now, that don't make no sense. I'll go into Home Depot and buy the windows myself.
You don't know how to install a window? It's gonna be drafty as hell in your house. It's gonna be drafty as hell in your house. It's gonna be wind whistling all through the cracks and crevices because you don't know how to install a window.
No, but Macaroni Tony do, and I will go get Macaroni Tony in a minute. Look, I tell people all the time, they're like, my dream is to own a home. And I'm not going to shoot down your dream. You should absolutely have that dream. That's a beautiful dream to have. just make sure that you buy less house than you actually need, because you're gonna need that extra money because something's gonna break. Let your
Yeah.
HVAC break down.
Oh, it
Let your
has before.
let your air conditioning just shut down.
Oh, it has for several summers. Yeah. No, that does happen. Yeah.
Look,
Pipe bursts.
no.
That's happened twice. Various things. But my house was originally built in the 60s, and the people I purchased it from, and I know everybody's like, you should sue. I don't think I can do that because I purchased the home. I signed the paperwork. It's mine. But they did a renovation and they put it together with spit and bubble gum. And I have sunk tens of thousands just to get basic things working in the house. So, but I love my home. I do.
I love your home. Your home is dope. I mean, for the audience, a lot of people don't know this, that there was some serious talk of me moving down to Atlanta at the beginning of this year. I backed out of it only because for some strange reason, the vortex of Washington, D.C. just won't let me leave, because I've tried so hard over the last 30 years to leave this area. I was going to move to California. I was going to move to California. I did live in Baltimore for a hot second, right? I was going to move to Hawaii. I sold all my stuff and was planning to move to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And then I was seriously thinking about Atlanta, but I love your home. Your home is dope. So I'm not knocking your home. I'm just saying
it is. Homeownership is a lot of work. The trade-off is, it's one of the like most common ways to build generational wealth is with homeownership in this country. So the trade-off, it ends up being worth it, but day to day, like just boots on the ground, it's hell.
Yeah, it's good and terrible.
It's good and terrible.
Good and terrible. You know what else is good and terrible?
What's that?
Ray J.
Boy, oh boy.
Ray J. Somebody pointed out that Ray J has been like the Forrest Gump of hip hop culture, because he's always been in the mix of something that is popular.
I don't know that. Aside from Raycon headphones,
Love and hip hop.
Okay, I don't know that he was like
rappers and hip hop artists getting on television.
Sure, yeah.
He's been influential in a lot of people's careers. Like, yeah. I mean, the Kardashians owe all of their wealth.
Yes.
To Ray J.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason why I bring up Ray J. Ray J got knocked out.
He did.
He got knocked out. He got knocked out at Las Vegas at a celebrity MMA event promoted by Aiden Ross. Look, we don't have a lot of good things to say about Aiden Ross. Just going to leave that the way it is. His opponent was a YouTuber called Super Hot Fire, whose real name is, get this, Dwayne Deshaun Stevenson.
Yes.
They had a lot of, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And the finish came in the second round after a clean shot left Ray J unable to continue. The referee stopped it. Ray J went down near the ropes and the whole thing was over pretty fast. What made this more than just a celebrity fight result is the context surrounding it. Ray J had been publicly talking about how he had serious health issues in the weeks leading up to the fight, including suggesting that he might not live long. People seem to forget he was just in the hospital just a few months ago on some for real stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so then why did he act like he was forced to do this? Like, why did he then do it?
Oh, I'll get into that in a minute. But so when he showed up in Las Vegas Arena to take punches, people had questions before the first bell even rang because of his health issues. Then after the knockout, Ray J grabbed the mic and hinted that something about the fight may have been planned before walking that back almost immediately. That comment alone turned a sports story into a conspiracy conversation. He was later taken to a hospital for evaluation with concerns about a possible concussion, and he already had issues with his heart. Now, why was he there? made a commitment.
Yeah.
Somebody promotes you, Aiden Ross and his brand risk promotions, they put this thing together. He's the booker. He's the booker man.
Hmm.
Even if you got a serious illness, people promoted you, they done made money off you. You got to show up.
Yeah.
You might be liable.
Yeah. Um, it didn't look good. I mean, honestly, I didn't watch the whole fight. I didn't know the fight was even happening. No idea about any of it.
Mm-mm.
But of course, the knockout in question has circulated on social media,
Oh
and
no, he got his ass knocked out. That was a clean
yes,
shot, and
yes,
he was loopy. Now he
yes,
said that there was a plan, I guess, because this wasn't just a boxing match; it was an MMA fight. Which
hmm
last I checked, everybody can watch that video of Ray J. He ain't trained not a little bit because his gut
no, he
was.
didn't look.
Mm,
Yeah, so when you were talking about him having health issues, I was like, well, that was apparent because you could look at him and
he,
tell that he was not ready for this fight, health wise whatsoever.
I mean, he has not looked good when he did that versus where he was really drunk and he had his
Mm.
shirt off. And I've never seen somebody with that type of body take their shirt off so much. He's not young Ray J anymore, and that
Yeah,
gut is crazy.
yeah.
Um, but that knockout was legit. He got
Oh, no,
rocked.
yeah. Yeah, you could see there are plenty of, videos that kind of freeze frame on his face, and, you can see his eyes aren't fixed on anything. He
Mm-mm.
got he got knocked out.
He was
Yeah.
gone. I think this kind of brings me to a larger question because we're seeing this a lot. A lot of these, I don't know even what to call them. I don't think Aiden Ross is even on Twitch. I think he's on like Kick. Look, I know we're supposed to know about this type of stuff because
Mhm.
like we're in this space and that we are eventually going to be streaming. I keep talking about it. Let me get there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a 20-something-year-old kid that could just easily hop into it. Like I got to figure it out
Right.
first. But and I know we're not of that world, but they've been putting on a lot of these shows, and I understand like Logan Paul and Jake Paul putting on that stuff because they're actually training. They're actually
Yes.
legitimately like say what you want about Jake Paul.
I
Like
can say
dude
a
is
lot.
I can say a lot too, but he is
Mhm.
legitimately training to be in the sport of boxing. He is trying
Right.
to hone his craft.
Right.
A lot of these kids on social media, these social media influencers have been doing a lot of these fights. And they're a lot of times they're not wearing headgear. A lot of times they're
Mhm.
not wearing protection. Like this stuff isn't, there's no real medical oversight. There's no athletic commission accountability. And all that
Right.
stuff matters because all this human cockfighting that is the UFC, MMA, boxing, and all that stuff, there are rules, regulations, and bodies that oversee everything to make sure things go off without a hitch.
Yes.
That's not the case with these type of situations. And so I'm like, hey, look, when does the voyeurism of celebrity car crash, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
When does that get pushed to the side? Does somebody have to be seriously hurt before that happens?
Oh, we don't care about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying by and large as a human race.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because people in sports in general, in this facet of the entertainment industry, get hurt and killed all the time.
But those are athletes that are training in that sport, right? Like
Yeah.
if somebody died in a UFC ring, obviously that is obviously horrible. Like I'm not
Yes.
trying to minimize that. But they trained to be in that sport. They walk
Mhm.
in participating in training for years, decades, knowing
Right.
that it is a real possibility. A lot
Yeah.
of celebrities are walking in thinking it's a game. We all grown. A
Mhm.
grown man can hit me. I could die, even
Yes.
with padding on. And I don't think
Yes.
this is registering for a lot of these celebrities as chasing the bag.
Right. So that's the difference. Not the training, but the assumption of risk is what's the difference. And so when athletes who, like you said, do train in this, they know there's an assumption of risk of like, I could get seriously hurt, I could get killed doing this. When people who are not in that world, and really, Ray J, no business being in it, they are not equipped with the knowledge because they haven't trained. They aren't a part of that world. They're not equipped with the knowledge to understand what the true risks are for doing this. And yeah, he could have gotten seriously hurt. And to that point, we don't know that he didn't. Honestly, he went to the hospital for evaluation, but we don't know if he did end up sustaining a concussion, if that's going to have any, lasting effects. Like, you can't play around with this. And so for him to even get in that ring knowing like physically he was not ready to do so, I think was a very dangerous decision.
Yeah.
But, gas is expensive out here. We got inflation and tariffs. Listen, I went to fill up my tank. I took a picture of the total because I couldn't believe it. $50.99.
I mean, I used to spend that money to fill up my truck all the way back in 2003.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
$50.99.
there were times, okay, maybe not 2003, around 2008, 9. Yeah, there were times where I was spending $50. But then again, I had an SUV, 4Runner.
Mm-hmm.
So big tank. And I didn't put the lowest in. I put the
you were putting plus in that
because you had to.
This was regular. 12-gallon tank. $50.99. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is.
So I get it. You got bills to pay.
So is that what we should do? Do a celebrity boxing match for you to pay for your house bills?
No, touch me and I'm calling the police. I don't
you can't
care.
call the authorities if it's a contest, if it's an exhibition.
No. I'm not getting my behind in no ring. At my age? No.
My male ego, and this is also comes to play with a lot of these guys getting there thinking that they can fight, and you see they don't have no hands.
Yeah.
My male ego would be like, oh yeah, I used to have hands back in the day. Used to.
Yeah.
Used to.
Once upon a time I could fight.
Yeah. I'm almost 46 years old. I mess around, tear Achilles trying to throw a punch.
Yeah, and it's been so long since I've actually been in a physical altercation that ain't no telling I could still fight. And right. I don't want to find out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do it for some money. And if it's the right person.
Nah.
I'll fight some people for the right money. Yeah,
I watched that, what is it, the Ronda Rousey and that heifer that I don't like. And just looking at that, I'm like, no, if one of them hit me, I'm taking my gloves off, taking them gloves off or unwrapping the tape on my hand, and I'm asking for my cell phone. You're going to hand it to me because you're going to be in the corner because you talked me into this. You're going to hand it to me, and I'm calling 911.
There's no way in hell I'm going to talk you into fighting Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Or Gina Carrera. I think it's Gina Carrera. I think that's that. I don't even want to say her name.
Her name is Hating Ass Heifer.
Okay. All right, then. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move away from this because I tell you what I don't want is no beef with either one of these women. But
no, on that, I'll stand 10 toes down on that.
I'm not talking about not completely disagreeing with her stance on trans rights.
Yes.
I can openly say that. I'm just saying I don't want no smoke. Like I don't want her to step to me.
I'll take all the smoke for that. Like, here's the thing.
You just said you don't even want to for money, but you'll take the smoke on principle?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I can keep my mouth shut.
Does that mean that I want to fight her? No. Obviously not. I don't want to fight anyone. But if I ever saw her on the street and she said, I heard you don't like my stand on trans rights, I'd be like, no, I don't.
I mean, yeah, I would say that.
Any questions? Yeah.
But
Yeah. I'm
I
gonna stand 10 toes down on that. And
All
then if
right.
she tried to get into a physical altercation, I'm calling the police. That's not, it's not hard.
I just said all right 3 times, meaning that I'm
I'm
trying to move
sorry.
on to.
Go ahead.
I'd have said it. Well, when I say all right, that is the segue for me to start moving towards the next segment. And you sit
Well, go
there
ahead.
and this fake fight that you would lose that I
Yeah,
might
what?
run from. I might leave you.
I'm not gonna lose the war of words. I'll tell you that.
I don't think you can get that many outs. Yeah, all right. I just said all right again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to 2 different topics that I think make a clear point about support and non-support. And we're going to get into that next. Jay, I want to spend a little time on 2 stories that dropped this week because together they paint a picture of exactly where we are right now culturally.
Okay.
One is about Black people being told their community is a threat. The other is about a Black man with a Netflix deal deciding accountability is somebody else's problem. Both of them matter. Both of them are worth conversation.
Okay.
So I'm going to butcher this girl's last name, and I shouldn't. Osaka?
Yeah.
I said it right, ladies and gentlemen. I said it right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm excited because I said it right.
Yeah.
Naomi Osaka co-hosted a dinner in Paris during the French Open with fellow Black tennis players. I'm not about to list all their names.
Coco Golf.
There's a lot of people. There was some Black tennis players that she hosted a dinner with, okay?
It was Coco Golf, Gael Monfils, Christopher Eubanks, and Asia Muhammad, and Taylor Townsend.
Oh, okay. I guess that would have been easy enough to read, but I didn't feel like doing it, and I'm glad my sister did it. They called it the Black Party. Roland Garros edition. I don't even know who Roland Garros is, but okay. It was a private dinner. Friends, colleagues, laughs, good food, good energy. Townsend posted about it, calling it good for the culture. Oscar said it was her first time co-hosting an event and that the company couldn't have been better. Then, as it does, the internet got involved. The criticism centered almost entirely on the word Black in the name, with people online asking the predictable questions, what if someone hosted an all-white party?
Y'all do all the time.
She pushed back directly, saying that she grew up as half Japanese athlete who rarely saw players who look like her, that she watched her father face discrimination, and that celebrating Black identity was something she would never apologize for. Her point was simple. This was about inclusion and shared experience, not about keeping everyone out. The backlash wasn't coming from inside tennis. It was coming from online spaces that find Black community inherently threatening. And that's a story that I think is worth talking about. So
yeah, for sure.
This is another example of, once again, Black people celebrating us.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say the majority, not all, but the majority of the people that typically have a problem with it are white folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because there is no white identity and there is a Black identity. And that to them feels exclusionary. And it ain't got nothing to do with you. And that is what they also hate.
There is a white identity.
Mm-mm.
No. To them, there is a white identity, and it's the American identity.
But they can never describe it.
And
or give examples of it.
Well, they'll do. They'll say things like hamburgers and French fries.
But that's not
pizza.
That's also
American.
Not American. Yeah, but what are the origins of the particular Americana they're talking about? Don't talk about folk music or blues or country or bluegrass. Like what is it?
I will also say this isn't just an American problem. Like these weren't just Americans that were online calling backlash to this, because the French Open has a history
of
severe racism. Black players have historically been a minority at the top levels of tennis. Serena Williams faced hostile crowd behavior um, as far back as 2003. Um, Al Naztes was banned. Look it up. I don't know what it is. Was banned from the French Open in 2017 after a racist remark about Serena's unborn child. Sloane Stevens has spoken publicly about a racist abuse only getting worse over time. So all this stuff reflects kind of a racist attitude in France, especially around the French Open. And I remember, was it the French Open where Serena felt like she was being judged harshly, and then the beads in her hair came out and she started crying because of the unfair treatment that she was getting at the tennis match, and she felt like it was racist the way she was being treated?
I don't know if that was specifically the French
It
Open.
could have been the British Open, because the British
Could have been
Open,
Wimbledon. Could have been,
the Wimbledon, because I remember one time it was a London news or a British news organization that did the caricature of Serena Williams is basically man-tannish,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. Well, London news or tabloid culture, extremely racist,
yeah,
extremely anti-Black. And we saw that with the treatment of Meghan Markle and the continued treatment of Meghan Markle.
don't look. You know what? It's not just that. With Meghan Markle, you have people here in this country who don't have nothing to do with it. Meghan is American, but they don't have anything to do with her marrying Prince Harry, right? Nothing. And it's just like, yeah, Prince. And it's the shots that they'll throw at Prince Harry. And I'm like, I know what you're doing. And it's very much like these redrawn voting maps and redistricting that these politicians say, well, it's not about race. Yes, it absolutely is. And my question then becomes, and this isn't not to all white folks, right? Because I saw something on Instagram or Threads not too long ago where the person was asking, hey, when is white people gonna? No, it was a question. And the question said, hey, Black folks, hey, this is a question for Black folks, white people, stay out of it. And then you had to click on something, and when you clicked on it and revealed it, it was like, see, I knew you white people wasn't gonna stay out of it, because it was a whole bunch of white people that were in there making comments. And it was like, what is it about us that you can't stay out of our business? Because, and once again, this isn't directed towards all white people, right? But there's a lot of them. Why is it you can't just mind your own business?
Well, that goes across the board for anything. If you've seen any Karen video, it doesn't matter the race of the other person. They just cannot mind their own business. It is literally impossible for them to mind their own business.
And I would say sometimes we need to be more mindful of other people, because we as Black people are real good at minding our own business, almost to the detriment sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. But I will say here is my opinion of what the crux of the issue is. They created Blackness, right? For the purpose of subjugation, for the purpose of oppression. They created Blackness. They created racism. They created racial prejudice. But what has happened is that we instead took the Blackness that they gave us, that identity, and we created something truly beautiful out of it that has global influence. And so if you made something to hurt someone else and they took it and made $1 million off of it, that would piss you off to the highest level of festivity.
Not the highest level of festivity.
Yeah. And you want to take as much as you feel like now you owed something. You're owed access at all times no matter what the occasion, and you got that sound on a lot of videos and TikToks and reels, when you're Black, you're never really lonely. Like, right? They demand access and like a jovial response, right? Like, we're supposed to invite them to the cookout and we're supposed to be, oh, yes, sir, we're so glad you're here. Like, no. But instead, we're saying, no, this is ours. This thing here, this is going to be for us. FUBU. Right?
For us, by us. Mm-hmm.
And that does nothing. That just pisses them off. And that's why they fight so hard for the N-word. That's why they'll fight tooth and nail. Because I heard something the other day, and it's so true, because you understand the context in when two women call each other bitch, right? And that they're not meaning it the way a strange man on the street calling a woman a bitch means it, right? So they can understand that context, but they can't understand it when it comes to the N-word.
I love the analogy, because you sent me that video. I love the analogy of nickname between lovers, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's okay for me to call my partner a honey boo or sweet cheeks. You can't call her that. And you know that.
And you know
that. You know that you can't, but for some strange reason, you want to say the N-word because you're excluded from it. And I think it goes deeper. I think it goes back to those songs that we learned in elementary school. This land is my land. This land is your land. Inherently, people in this country are taught it is mine. But history says, when you learn it, it's not really all of ours. When you said this land is my land, this land is your land, what you're saying to is this land is my land. This land is your land if you're in a specific group. If you're not in a specific group,
it doesn't belong to you.
It doesn't belong to you.
And your rights here are tenuous.
All the time. You know what's also funny? The people most offended by this dinner have never once complained about the actual racism in tennis.
Right.
Like, they're complaining about the exclusion of people at this party, but they're not saying to themselves, but we're excluded from that party, but Black folks have been excluded from tennis. Because when you think about it, tennis,
because that's two different populations.
But when you think about it, tennis has always been kind of exclusionary.
Yes.
Yeah, exclusionary. Tennis has country clubs, like legacy memberships, old money traditions. Those are exclusive.
Yeah.
Nobody actually says that they're exclusive, but they are.
Yeah.
Every now and then we get a Black tennis player that does real good for themselves. And we're going to cheer, just like we did for Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got Tom Brady. Love you, Tom Brady. They got Jackson Dort, and he out there, announcing President Trump during one of his rallies.
Rocky Marciano, they won.
But why does Black community feel threatening to people who have never been a part of it, right? Would this dinner have been controversial if it was called Dinner with Friends? What does it say about the tennis culture that this has become a story at all? It says tennis is still very segregated. Because the names that was on that list was only like 5 or 6.
Right.
Last I checked, French Open has way more players than that. So we're talking about what? Not even 5% of the players? Just wanted to get together for an intimate dinner. But for my white folks out there that are like, there they go again attacking us. I'm about to attack a Black man.
Oh, boy.
It's an equal opportunity attacking around here because...
Again, it's not an attack. It's a call out and call in. It's accountability.
Accountability can come off as attack to certain people. So
those who don't want to take it.
Right. Don't want to take accountability. So I'm just going to call it what it is to them. Right. It's like, okay. In your eyes, I'm attacking you. Cool. If you want to take accountability, you'll realize it's not an attack, but you won't. Because that's what I'm used to. You don't be reading these comments. I be reading them. These people is ridiculous. But Kevin Hart went on the Breakfast Club to address the George Floyd joke during his Netflix roast. And instead of putting the fire out, he mostly poured gas on it.
Of course he did.
Hart's position was clear. Kill Tony, who was the comedian, told the joke, not him. So the outrage is misdirected. He produced the show, but argues he's not responsible for every word of every comedian's mouth. That's the argument. The problem is the public wasn't asking who said it. They were asking, what do you think about it? And Hart never fully answered the way that people wanted it to land. The backlash was already simmering because before the Breakfast Club appearance, the roast aired on Netflix, the joke went viral, Floyd's family responded publicly, and the cultural temperature was already pretty high. So Hart's interview didn't de-escalate it, it widened the gap between what people wanted to hear from him and what he was actually saying. And for a man who was built his entire brand on being relatable and culturally aware, that gap is a real problem. So I'm going to call Kevin Hart to task for what he said. But did you get a chance to see his clip?
No, but I'm not surprised. We had this same issue about prior, either they were transphobic or homophobic comments. I can't remember. He said he apologized for them. He was up for hosting the Oscars. And the comments resurfaced, and he said, I already apologized for that. I'm not doing it again. Yeah, he needs around like sensitive issues like this. He definitely needs PR coaching because he is not good at de-escalating things at all. It's not his forte. So to see that he took like zero accountability for it, okay, like that feels more on brand than him being relatable. I've never found Kevin Hart to be relatable, but like that feels more on brand for me about him.
I don't see a lot of comedians apologizing, so I'll put him in that category as the first label that he puts upon himself is comedian. What I mean by that is when somebody says to me, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, what are the things that you describe yourself as? Say the first thing I say is black. I'm a black man. Those are the first things that I say.
Yeah.
American is in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not one of the first things I say because the first thing that I am above anything else is black. So it seems like when he describes himself, the first word that he'll use is comedian, because this is kind of universal. Dave Chappelle basically did the same thing. They get defensive instead of listening. They're like, it's just jokes. And in a certain way, I kind of get it. As somebody who loves to joke with people, some would say picking on people, but it's never mean-spirited. I always tell people, if I don't joke with you, joke on you because I can take it as well as I could give it. So bring it at me as well. If I don't joke with you at all, I don't really rock with you. Like if I don't joke on you at all, I don't rock with you. But there are sometimes people are like, hey, look, what you just said, that bothered me. And I had to take a step back and be like, okay, was I wrong? Well, they felt the way that they felt. So I can't take that away from them. Was that my intent? Did they know my intent? Is it something that I need to apologize? And 9.9 times out of 10, I'm like, it doesn't matter if I feel like it wasn't offensive. You feel that way, I'm going to apologize. But I'm
because
not a comedian.
It's impact over intent. But here's the thing about that comedian identity. They think it gives them carte blanche to say whatever they want. I don't know who created that rule, but it is incorrect. A joke is a joke when people are laughing. But when you're making the joke and no one's laughing, and in fact they're upset, then you didn't make a joke and you aren't funny. And so that's the difference. What we're saying is it's a joke to you, but it's not a joke to a whole community of people and allies. It's not a joke. It's their life. And it is comments that people can take, and it could result in violence or harm against a whole community of people. And so when is a joke actually a joke? A joke is actually a joke when people find it humorous.
Yeah.
But when they find it harmful, it's not a joke. And the fact of the matter is, the difference between you and a comedian like, say, Dave Chappelle is like, you'll take that instance where your joke was not received as a joke, and you'll understand the impact trumps intent, and you will take accountability. The problem is they can't take it as well as they dish it out, because just because you made a joke doesn't mean I don't get to say something back. It's like free speech ain't free, because it could still get you punched in your mouth. So
or free speech doesn't remove you from critique.
Yes. And so you should be able to take that critique. If you want to tell that joke, if you want to tell that quote unquote joke, then you should be able to handle the consequence that comes with it. And if you can't, and you're like, well, I didn't say it, or black people got it worse, or this, that, whatever your lame ass excuse is, that just says to me, no, you can't take what you dish out. And you don't know how to take accountability.
I agree with you. In a minor defense of him, when he was on the Breakfast Club, he put it all on Tony. And he was like, what is I supposed to do? Stop production?
Yes.
What? No. Show must go on, right? Like, they are throwing jokes all around. No, you don't stop.
Was this live?
No, I don't think it was live. I think it was taped.
Okay.
No, I mean, you could have cut it from the edit. You could have cut it from the edit. And from what I gathered, there were some jokes that were cut. But yeah. I think Kevin Hart wanted a roast, and he wanted a roast like all those other roasts have been. And roasts get really, really dark. And I don't think people other than comedians should actually be in the room. Don't try to monetize something that is so dark. Don't try to hold on to the truth of comedy as well as make a buck. Pick your lane. Right. Either you're going to hold on to the art form or you're going to try to make that money. If you're going to try to make money, you got to kind of water down your stuff.
Yeah. Who throws their own roast anyway, but okay.
This is a poor example. But there is a lot of lyrics that Biggie had on his Ready to Die album that Puffy cut. It's like, you can't say that. And they came out later, and you hear them on his, like, after he passed away, Puffy was still going to make money off of him. And you hear these old lyrics that they threw on new songs, and you're like, oh, Puffy, yeah, I understand why you cut these lyrics. They're abhorrent. Yeah. Like, yes. And so you have to make a decision as an artist. You're going to be an artist? Then be an artist. Don't worry about the money. Do your art. Right. Or do you want to make money? If you want to make money, you got to conform a little bit. But then the thing that bothered me about Kevin Hart's response to all this, instead of listening to the hurt of people, he felt attacked. So he got defensive. And his posturing was that. So there was no reasoning with him. Because he got defensive, this was a stance that he was going to take. So he was going to pass the buck and say, Tony said the joke. I wouldn't have said the joke, but Tony said the joke. But it's your production. Yes. It's Heartbeat Productions. Yes. Another thing that I didn't know about, that I found out later, that really bothered me. Because there was a lot of racial jokes, but okay, that's kind of what a roast is. Yeah. However, there were writers. All of the writers were white. There is where the problem begins. Because it's not about making artful comedy. Kind of seems like you're trying to get your racist thoughts off.
Sounds like it, don't it?
And if that's the case, and you're the production for this, that says something about you. That means all these jokes that they were doing in the roast about Kevin Hart, quote unquote, cooning it up for the higher ups in the entertainment business, Kind of seems like it could be true. Now, also, Kevin Hart was at George Floyd's funeral. He is a friend of the family, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And
So he should have cut it.
He didn't say the joke, but he's responsible because it's his production.
Yeah.
And once again, where
That's
does your
literally what it
allegiance...
means to be the producer.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So, like, Naomi gets dragged for dinner. Hart gets on the Breakfast Club platform to explain why he doesn't owe anyone anything. Both stories are about Black people and accountability, but the accountability is running in completely different directions. The common thread: wealth and access change how you move, and sometimes that distance costs you the room. Here's what these two stories absolutely have in common. Both of them are really about what happens when Black people stop centering Black people. Naomi never did that. She centered Black people. Hart did it on his Netflix stage in front of the whole world and then went to the Breakfast Club to explain why that was okay. Being a comedian didn't make him say that. Being rich and out of touch did. Okay. Somebody put together a list of classic Black family sayings, and I need to talk about it because these weren't just phrases; they were whole curriculum. These things that we heard growing up in Black household that shaped how we move in the world. No classroom, no textbook, just a look, 7 words slipped in before you were old enough to argue back.
Yep.
So I'm going to go through just a couple of these Black sayings, not slangs, but I mean, you would get slayed if you didn't listen to these sayings.
Yes.
And I'm going to say what the literal meaning is and what the real lesson is.
Okay.
And everybody, and I'm sure it's not just Black folks, but universally, almost every Black person knows these phrases. There might be some other ethnic groups that absolutely know these phrases as well. Universally, Black people know these. And the first one, I'm not one of your little friends.
Exactly. Yes.
The literal meaning is, don't talk to me like I'm your peer. The real lesson is respect hierarchy.
Yeah.
Ranks exist in this house, and you are not at the top of it.
Yeah. Which is hopefully a lesson we're actually starting to move away from. Because what it does is it puts a block on your child's voice. You know, cause let me tell you, what's inherent in that is, I'm not one of your little peers. There's a hierarchy, and in that hierarchy, I'm above you. And because I'm up there, what I say is what it is. But a parent is a person. They're a human being. They make mistakes. There should be space for your child to say something.
All right. So, parents are going to say, what is your solution for this? Because you don't want your child to get so comfortable with you. And that you want them to be able to open up and talk to you, but you don't want them to get so open with you that they start treating you as one of their little friends, because they need to respect when you tell them to do something to do it.
Yes, that is absolutely true. But and honestly, if there was an answer, parenting would be solved forever. There is no answer.
True.
It's a line that you have to walk every day of, like, I want to have a relationship where my child feels comfortable coming and telling me things. But I need also to make sure that the boundary is there of, like, I am your parent, and that comes with a certain level of responsibility, which is, by certain level, I mean all of it. And because of that, you need to listen when I speak. Like, I get that point, but you also do need to, in a sense, be your child's little friend. So that they can come to you and talk to you openly about the things that's going on with them, the things they're having problems with, even if that problem is you.
That's going to be, a lot of parents ain't going to want to hear that. They're not going to want to hear that.
Well, then in 20 years, don't say nothing to me when your child is going no contact and you can't figure out why.
Yeah, because that's what we doing nowadays. Go no contact. We personal boundaries. Look, you ain't going to ruin my life. I'm going to get right mentally. You ain't going to ruin my life. So you either act right or get out. So I get it. But also, I'm still not one of your little friends.
Yeah.
We can be friendly,
Mm-hmm.
but I ain't one of your little friends.
Right. The relationship between us is different.
Different, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, here's another one. I'll deal with you when we get home.
Mm-hmm.
Literal meaning, this issue will be handled later at home. Real lesson, public behavior should stay controlled. Discipline is coming, just not here.
Yeah.
I hated getting a phone call from mom or dad when they were at work because a teacher or a principal, or most of the time an assistant principal, then placed a call at their job to tell them how I was acting that day. And they call and say, hey, we heard from your teacher. We heard from their assistant principal. We heard from your principal. I'm going to deal with you when I get home.
Yes.
And get home is not for a couple of hours. And it's the longest hours of your life.
Yeah. It's that long walk. It's that green mile. You know, it's that dead man walking. And you just waiting for the hammer. That silence while you wait for the hammer to drop is the most excruciating. Yes.
I think that's worse than any of the punishment. The anticipation of the punishment is always worse than the punishment. It don't last as long as the punishment, but it feels worse.
Yes, it does. That saying also means we don't put our business out in public.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to deal with this so I can get in your ass, but it's going to be in the privacy of our own home because I don't need these people talking about how I raised my child.
Look, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing scarier than being at some type of store with your mama and you act up and she says to you very calmly, I'm going to deal with you when we get home.
Mm-hmm.
I know what's going to happen when we get home. I know the fury that's burning inside of you right now. The fact that you are so calm is letting me know I'm really going to get it. But also, we don't do public displays.
Nope.
We not going to do it. You not going to know what's going on in our household. Also, not necessarily the greatest thing in the world.
That's not, depends on what comes when you get home.
Right. But I'm talking about
or
everything staying in the home. This idea that goes back to my earlier conversation where we just mind our business all the time. That could be detrimental. Sometimes those things that are going on in the home need to be heard outside, because sometimes things going on in the home you think is normal. And you get outside and realize that's not normal. I have a friend that told me a story that he thought was perfectly normal. His mom kicked him down a flight of stairs routinely. And I was like, hey man, that's child abuse.
That's not okay.
That's not okay.
There's no world in which that's okay. Yeah.
He was like, yeah, my mom was just tough on me. No, that's not being tough. She kicked you downstairs repeatedly. Yeah, I was a little kid. I didn't get hurt. You could have.
No, you definitely could have.
They actually weren't black. But also, sometimes things in the home need to come outside the home so you realize it's not normal. All right.
Yeah.
Here's another one that typically happened when they dealt with you when they got home.
Okay.
Keep on crying and I'm going to give you something to cry about.
Yes. Listen,
I'm not even going to
I
go through the
just
literal
got
meaning.
punished. I am upset by that. Let me feel these feelings. That is the least you could do. Let me be upset about the fact that I just got punished. Please.
Before you give me something to cry about, you just gave me something
did.
to cry about.
That's why I'm crying now.
There's
more on top of this?
Do you think
thanks.
giving me more, all of a sudden I'm going to be like, yeah, I don't even know why I'm crying.
Yeah.
Is the more worse than what it was before? Maybe that's what they're thinking. The more, the next is going to be more than it was before. So it's like, you was crying over that? That was nothing. And then when you get the more, really you be like, you know what? It really wasn't nothing. I shouldn't have been crying over that. No.
I'm going to cry over all of it.
Yes.
All of it. I'm going to cry over every part, every stage of this. I'm going to cry about it.
This next one, Carlos Miller did, and on his podcast, what is it called? It's called 85 South.
Yeah.
The 85 South podcast. I've seen this clip where he talks about this, and he's absolutely right. And it is, act like you got some sense. That is a Black expression. And what it literally means is behave yourself in public. And the real lesson is you was raised with standards, retrieve them immediately, and represent this family correctly. And Carlos was like, the only reason why we ever got in some trouble is because we was acting like we didn't have some sense.
Right.
You know what? He was absolutely right.
Yeah. You wasn't acting like you had the sense God gave you.
Right. That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
But God didn't give me no sense. You're supposed to teach me the sense.
Yes. That's where the disconnect comes in. I'm 7.
We inherently got sense. I didn't know.
Where did the sense come from?
But you know what Carlos said? Carlos said, even though you don't have no sense, you don't know what sense is, when 3 years old, your parent says, act like you got some sense. You started acting right. Whatever it was, you started acting right. So maybe inherently we do know what acting like some sense is.
No, the response to that was always doing nothing, because we don't know what that means. So when you tell me to act like I have some sense, I don't know what that means. So now I'm paralyzed. And you think, okay, now you're acting right because I'm quiet and I'm not moving because I actually don't know what to do. I don't know how to act like I have sense because I don't understand what that means. So now I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, you're right. All right. So we're just going to do 2 more. We're just going to do 2 more. And this one at the time didn't make any sense to us when our parents said it or our family said it. But as we got older, I kind of get it. And it is, this hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah. In the moment, you're like, the hell it does.
Right.
You done took away my Nintendo. How in the world does that hurt you more than it hurts me?
Well,
you are. Yeah.
The reason is because the punishment or correction is more painful for them, because they're showing you that discipline comes with care, not cruelty. Sometimes. But the inherent lesson when they say that, when they're actually not being cruel, is, this hurts. I don't want to do this to you. I don't want to see you sad. I don't want to see you hurt. I don't want to see you crying. Your actions are forcing me to do this, and it's breaking my heart to see you like this. But if I don't do this, you're going to be crazy when you get older.
Yeah.
You're going to be like Mackenzie Sherrill.
Right. Because they did not never say none of these things to her. They were absolutely her little friend.
They still her little friend in jail.
They still her little friend now. They are, the 3 of them is just a triplet of delusion. Because y'all are delusional. But No, yeah, as an adult, I understand it now. I understand that it is true. When I do have to call nieces or nephews or somebody to task, it's like, I don't want to say this to you. I don't want to have this conversation with you. I want to go have some fun and give you candy and all the things that your mom don't want you to have and your dad don't want you to have. That's my job as an auntie. That's what I want to do. I don't want to have tough conversations and correct your behavior and all of these. I don't want to do this because it upsets me to see you upset.
Mm-hmm.
But I also realize that I have a responsibility as the adult in this situation.
Yeah. Last one. Don't let me have to tell you twice. The literal
Because
meaning
the fact
is
that I had to
do it
tell
now.
you once.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The first time was the last warning.
Mm-hmm.
Listen fast and move even faster. Don't let me have to tell you twice. Ain't no second warning.
Yeah. Because if
That
I
was
have
the
to
first
get up,
time.
because if I have to get up.
Childhood trauma. Jay, before we get out of here, what do you want to tell these people?
Nobody celebrates Black people. Nobody. We barely get recognized for our contributions. Let us have a little dinner where we can be in community with each other and mind our own damn business. We don't bother nobody. Please stop bothering us.
And also, just because you're rich and Black, you're still Black. Don't ever forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Woo! That was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast and YouTube exclusive content. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspective.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you really feel generous and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace.